not my plan. I say lob it to Ryan Perez in the paint off a couple of screens.
Esquivel to Garcia. Off the deflection. Los Fresnos comes back and wins. Now Santa Maria will put up a three. Bang! Santa Maria!
There's Warner. Here comes a head of the jam. Counted for two. Field. Adios! And the Falcons win on a walk-off. And it's saved.
What a game. Smack to the left. That is gone.
Lob for Perez. That's my play. Off the backboard. Count it. And a win. And a win. Ryan Perez wins the game for the Santa Rosa Warriors, and they go nuts. And why not?
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Real Sports Live. I'm Mark Molina, and we're coming to you live from London High School. Tuesday night volleyball action here, Class 3A, getting ready to go. It's Banquete taking on the hosting London Lady Pirates. Should be in store for a pretty good one today. Make sure you guys are following us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube. You guys can find us on there, live streaming live right now. So make sure to give this video a like, a share, and give us a follow and let everybody know you're watching here. If you have anybody looking for this game, please send them our way. We're Real Sports Live, RIO Sports Live, and we are once again here at London High School. I'm Mark Molina on the call for you tonight. And on the floor for the London Lady Pirates right now, we're going to start. It's going to be number 6, Araceli Garsab, number 7, Brooke Buzenlander, number 22, Helena McNorton, number 20, Phoebe Ajiti, number 12, Rachel Graff, and number 23, Natalie Sepulveda, getting started here for the Lady Pirates. And for the Banquete Lady Bulldogs, we have number 9, Liana Jimenez. We have number 10, Amethyst Trevino. We have number 2, Mia Lopez. Number 5, Zoe Burleson. Number 3, Samantha Cavazos. Number 4, Jackie Pena. And the libero's Mia Lopez in pink. So we're going to get started here, and the serve is good. It's controlled by London, and here's set up on the outside for Natalie Sepulveda with the early ace to give London a 1-0 lead. Highlights and player of the game to follow tonight after this game, and the game will be available for you guys to go on ahead and rewatch as Helena McNorton back to serve, and it's played by Banquete. Nice play at the net by Amethyst Trevino, and they set up on the outside once again for Sepulveda, and she's 2 for 2 on the outside attacks. She has one on that far end and one here on this near side corner. A couple of kills for her early on as McNorton back to serve once again. And here's the serve, it clears. And here's the setup on the outside, the runner by Lopez. And the point gonna be good. So number 2 is Mia Lopez and the libero is Mia Perez. So A little correction there on the early pregame introductions. And this one kept alive in return by Araceli Garza. And here's the setup in the center of the net for Trevino. And Trevino comes up with the kill to tie things up. We're all square at 2. And there they go into set number 1. Of course, high school volleyball, varsity, best of 5. A nice play by Busenlander, getting low to keep it alive. And here's the setup. And the back row attack by Busenlander clears. Here's a setup, and back it's Mia Lopez, and she sends it out past the end line, and it's 3-2 London. Now the service line, Lillian Campbell. And puts the serve in play, and it's controlled on the back row for Banquete. And there's Trevino. Makes it over. They set it up. Here's the GD. Goes across the net with it. A nice play there by Liana Jimenez on the front row as Savino makes the return. Here's the setup for Busenlander, and she comes up with the kill. Nice play up front there, and everything working well for London on that front row. Nice setup, and Busenlander got the timing down, and she was able to place it home for the kill. And the setup in the center net this time, and that's Rachel Graff, and she comes up with a kill. So back-to-back kills for London, and they lead 5-2 here early on. Campbell on the serve. It's played on the back row by Banquete. Here's the setup. And that one right on top of the net, kept alive there by Samantha Cavazos, and it's returned by Banquete. Here's a setup for Egidi. She makes the return. Set up on the front row, and here's Trevino. And it's tipped up front. Nice play by Rachel Graff, and the return made here by Araceli Garza. They're going to set up for Busenlander again, and she runs into a double block and keeps it alive, and the rally continues. It's for Burleson, and played on that back row by Campbell. Egidi on the return, and she punches it. A nice rally here by both teams. Amethyst Trevino makes the two-handed return, and here's Busenlander, and she runs into a block, and Trevino's there. And they set up for the libero as she gets it over, and it stays alive. And there's Graff to the back row. And after a lengthy rally, London comes up with the point. A lot of heads-up play on both sides by both teams, and London going to give a point back here on the service error by Campbell, and it's 6-3, Banquete serve. Coming to the service line, it's going to be Ashley De Leon for the Lady Bulldogs. And Busenlander plays on the back row. Here's the setup where Campbell makes the return. This one set up high. And that's Burleson. They set it up going cross court. And Busenlander, nice touch, gets it over, and going low and trying to make a play was Jackie Pena, but she sends it over and out of play, and that point going to go over to London. And the Lady Pirates up by 4. Speaking of 4, number 4, Michaela Stewart, the libero, on for London for the serve. Nice return there. Nice adjustment by London on that front row. And nice play by Banquete, catching Campbell a little bit off guard as she's unable to make that play there on the back row. Was in good position, just wasn't expecting the ball coming her way. It's 7-4. And the serve by Liana Jimenez. Here's a setup, center net for Busenlander. This one popped up high, and the dump over by Liana Jimenez. Here's a setup for Araceli Garza. She comes up big there with an outside hit for the kill. It's 8-4. And as London doubles up Banquete. Paris Cruz on the serve. Puts it in play. And the return by libero Maya Pettis, and she picks up the kill there. Makes it a 3-point game. Zoe Burleson sitting down and coming in. That's Maya Lopez. Here's Mia Pettis on the serve. 3-point game. And it's 8-6. Busenlander, the two-handed return to the back row, and Banquete is going to play it. And here's the return attempt by Lopez. And nice dump-off play there, Elena McNorton. Just a good heads up. Banquete expecting the set there, and McNorton with wherewithal to just dump it over. She gets a nice placement there, and her team now up by 3. It's 9-6. With Busenlander back at the service line. Martin sets it up. Busenlander from the back row, played by Banquete. And here's Pettis on the return. Norton and Busenlander on the return. Ball still alive. Return there by Banquete. Norton set it up for Sepulveda, and Sepulveda comes up big as she takes a serve, picks up the kill, and leads back to 4. It's 10-6. Busenlander back to serve for the Lady Pirates as she puts it in play. A nice battle there at the net by both teams, and it's kept alive by De Leon, and the return made by Banquete, and Busenlander with the long return. And here's the setup on the outside, and Busenlander goes low, and solid attempt there, but point going to go over as Kendall Koenig going to be credited there for Banquete, and it's a 10-7 game here in first half of set number 1. And the serve by Samantha Cavazos. McNorton sets it up for Eliana Leos, and Leos picks up a kill there, and she times that one nicely and puts herself in good position to give her team a 4-point lead. It's 11-7 out of Celi Garza on the serve. She puts the jump serve into play, and a little too much on it past the end line, and the air gives the point over to Banquete, and it's the Lady Bulldogs serve. Norton on the setup for Graff, and nice play there. So it's 13-7. Here's a play on the outside. That was Lopez. It's played, and Busenlander on the return. And what a play there as Bishop's able to get the return. Here's the setup for Graff in the middle. And Banquete holds strong, and the rally continues. They set it up for Ejidi. A little off balance, and she's going to place it right in the middle of a huddle of green. And London doubles up Banquete once again. It's 14-7, and we're going to have our first timeout of this match. Keep it here. We're Real Sports Live. We'll be back.
If you want to get in the game, come to Myra Sports and more. Basketball gloves and uniforms too, customized for you. Your family tradition, from generation to generation. From Pee Wee to the MLBs, you can count on us. Your hometown sporting goods store since '76. Myra Sports and more, where kids get cool stuff.
Hi, we're the Carol Cheerleaders, and you're watching Rio Sports Live.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Coming out of the timeout, we got a nice rally going. It's set up by McNorton. And she set it up nicely, and the delivery by Natalie Sepulveda, and she gets herself a kill there from the near side edge. These outside hitters playing really well here for London here in the early going. McNorton's had a heck of a game as well in that front row, really setting up those hitters for success. As it's an 8-point lead early, and nice play by Ajiti to make sure it gets returned. And here's a setup in the middle for Trevino. McNorton setting up Ajiti and mistimes it there, does Phoebe Ajiti, and sends it into the net. And the miss hit gonna give the point over to Banquete, and the Lady Bulldogs on to serve. Mia Lopez coming to the line. McNorton trying to chase it down, but cannot. And Boozin Leonard over on the far end of the stands. Back-to-back points here for Lady Bulldogs, as it's a 6-point lead for the Lady Pirates. McNorton sets it up. Boozin Leonard sends it over, and on the return from the back row, Mia Lopez, and she gets the kill on the back row attack. And the lead's 5 now, 3 straight points here for the Lady Bulldogs. This one out of play. And the service error gives London back the point. And it's the Lady Pirates serve as they lead 16-10. Really do want to appreciate everybody who's tuning in, wherever you guys are tuning in from, whether it be on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. And we appreciate you guys joining us. And it's Boozin Leonard on the outside, makes the return. Here's the setup. And here's Trevino, and Trevino puts too much on it from that middle hitter position and sends it out of play, and it's back to a 7-point lead for the hosting Lady Pirates. A nice play on the front of the net. That was McNorton and Ajiti making a defensive effort there. That point going over to London, but we got another timeout on the floor. That's 18-11. Lady Pirates on top. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Come on down to Staple Street Meat Market with the best selection of quality meats, beef ribs, Angus beef fajitas, and Staple Street brand sausage, featuring our new authentic family recipe for pony spices. Check out our weekly specials. Your one-stop shop for everything you need for your next barbecue: ice, charcoal, wood, and adult beverages. We are your local football headquarters. Look for our new location coming early 2022 at 7418 South Staple Street. We're a proud advertising partner with Real Sports Live and the Coastal Band and RGV, and supporting all our local sports and athletes. Staple Street Meat Market.
Here at Texas A&M University, Kingsville, we are a family. We support each other through thick and thin. We work together, grow together, excel together. We inspire each other to become the great minds of the future. We are here to ensure you succeed. Apply today to get started. This is your time.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, off that timeout. And this one sent skipping over by Gatsa, and Banquete doing a nice job of keeping it alive. But here's Leonard. And Mia Pettis, the libero, keeps it alive. And Ajiti back the other way. A relentless attack here on the London front row. McNorton setting it up. And here's a trading. Lillian Campbell sends it out of play. Do have a score correction. It is 18-11. We're all corrected here on the home scoreboard and our scoreboard. So it's 18-12 right now after that point over to Banquete. So here in the middle of set one, 18-12. London in control for the most part. Here's McNorton setting up for Rachel Graff. Here's the return by Zoe Burleson for Banquete. And McNorton setting it up again. Here's the runner by Graff in the center of the net. A nice play there. That's Nicole Gonzalez. London not expecting that one as she was able to a little bit more than a dump off there. We're going to get another timeout on the floor as it's an 18-13 lead for London. We'll take another break. Real Sports Live, we'll be back.
Children volunteer with CASA of the Coastal Bend.
Help us break the cycle of child abuse and neglect. Attend one of 4 information sessions and learn how you can become a CASA volunteer, providing children in foster care strong voices, healing hearts, and the opportunity to thrive.
After all, these children are our future. Visit coastalbendcasa.org and discover how you can make a positive change in a child's life.
Every child has a chance. It's you.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Another timeout coming off of. It's an 18-13 lead in favor of the London Lady Pirates. And serving for Banquete, it's Ashley De Leon. Here's another setup for Leonard, and she sends it out of play. And it's a 4-point lead here for Banquete. And heads-up return there by Campbell. Here's Samantha Gavassos. Leonard pops it up. McNorton for Gatsa, and Gatsa puts too much on it and sends it out of play. And another point over to the Lady Bulldogs as they inch within 3. London's led by as many as 8 here in set 1. As De Leon puts it in play, here's the setup, and here's Garza. A nice play there. That was Graff getting a piece of it. McNorton with the dump off. A good heads up play there by Gonzalez. It's kept alive in the return made by Cavazos. Norton sets it up. There's Graff. Goes up, picks up the kill. These London hitters up front on the net are tough. And they now lead by 4. It's 19-15. And McNorton keeps a save, and Leonard tracks it down and makes the return. McNorton for Garza. And here's the return. Norton for Leonard goes up. Sends it to the back row, and she sends it off of Ashley De Leon. It's a 5-point game. Back-to-back points for the Lady Pirates. Look at the score, you see a 5-point lead for London, but there's been some long rallies here by both teams, as you're going to see this one get tipped off and out of play by a Banquete player. So another point over to the Lady Pirates as they inch closer to wrapping up set 1. They lead by 6. Well, a lot of volleyball here to be played, but lengthy rallies. These Banquete players really fast to the ball. This one's sent out of play. So we've seen a lot of back and forth. We just seen the big difference is just that front row of London. They're tall, they're athletic, and they got a really good setter in Elena McNorton as Ajiti Can't control it on the front row and the point over to Banquete. So here's a serve by Liana Jimenez. Norton setting up Bajidi, who's going to go across court. And this one popped up high by De Leon. And the return made here by the libero Perez. Norton for Buzin Leonard. Hits it into a block, but she's going to get the deflection off of Kendall Koenig and Zoe Burleson. So 7-point game, and the serve by Paris Cruz. And the libero Perez goes low, can't come up with it. And it's set point coming up here for the Lady Pirates as they match their biggest lead of 8. Here's a serve to the back row. Here's a setup, Jimenez, and the return by Cavazos. McNorton for Buzin Leonard. And she's going to send it just out. That one was close. And the lead 7. McNorton for Leos. And this one, not going to be controlled. And that's going to do it here as London takes set 1, 25-17. They lead 1-0. Set 2 on the other side of this break. Keep it here. You're watching Real Sports Live. We'll be back.
Hi, I'm Joe with Valencia Heating and Air. Are you worried that your AC might not make it through another brutal summer? Well, I can offer you affordable air conditioning comfort with custom prices that won't break the bank. We service all units across the Coastal Bend, and there's no additional weekend or after-hour fees. We treat our customers the way we would want to be treated, especially when it comes to costly repairs. So if you need service, repairs, or replacement, call Joe to keep you cool. Valencia Heating and Air.
Fisherman's Place in Corpus, located at the Arcadia Shopping Center, offer real diagnostics and cleaning, sell lures, tackle, bait, and clothing. Also new and reconditioned rods and reels featuring a limited warranty. Located at 3911 Ayer Street, call 361-687-6754, Fisherman's Place.
Uniforms, etc., you're going to find the opportunity to purchase the best high-quality scrubs. Soon after I learned about how the EDC was helping out the community, and so I did meet with Ms. Castillo. She made it very easy, very friendly, and she walked me every step of the way. I couldn't have done it without their help.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles? How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Hello, I'm Sandra Valencia, principal of Por Vida Academy at Corpus Christi. Our program is individualized to fit the college or career your student is interested in. We cover all fees for testing and tuition. Our campus is small, providing a family-like atmosphere where teachers provide engaging, hands-on instruction. If you're looking for a school where your child can prepare for the future, then look no further than Por Vida Academy at Corpus Christi. Por Vida Academy at Corpus Christi. Go Panthers!
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on to set number 2. London with the 25-17 victory in set 1 over the visiting Banquete Lady Bulldogs. It's a feisty bunch over there. They've moved well all over the floor and able to track down the ball. And that's led, as we mentioned earlier, to some long rallies from both sides. But the difference has been the hitting of London, especially on that front row. And they've been set up really nicely by Elena McNorton, who's had a heck of a game on that front row, setting things up for her hitters as Graf one hands it over. And a GD on the return. And this is a lot of what we've seen. Both teams just quick to the ball and are able to recover. Not a lot of junk points coming here as Graf reaches over. A nice play made in the return from Liana Jimenez. Norton sets it up and right over the head of Graf and just mistimed it there a little bit. And Graf was ready for it. Had she got it, she was going to hammer that one home, and that one just a little bit over her head. Sepulveda. Graf. Sepulveda tips it over again. And here's Lopez, a little too hard, sends it out of play, and that's going to square things up on the hitting error from the Banquete end. And it's 1-1 in London's serve. Lillian Campbell on the service line for the Lady Pirates, and she puts this one into play. And strong attack there by Trevino. And London ready for it, and they pick up the point here. And it's 2-1 here. And Graf ready for it. She went up on the joust, and Banquete trying to argue their point there, and you see Samantha Cavazos, and it was a pretty close joust there at the top. I mean, we'll check the replay. Haven't had a replay as this game's been fast moving, but we'll go and check it out here and see what we saw. And that one was a real bang bang play in the middle, and that one just set up, and you can see what Banquete is arguing, but not going to be overturned. And that one was just too close to call, but you could see from the replay that either team could make an argument. And this one is going to be an ace as it's going to go off the arms of Jackie Pena. So London pulling ahead by 4, and that's 4 straight for the Lady Pirates. And set up, Trevino two hands it over to the back row. There's McNorton for a GD, and it's going to go off the arms of Liana Jimenez, and the lead is 5-1, as London picks up where it left off with a hot start here, 5-1. And we're in set number 2. It's set up on the far end, but Burleson is sent back by London. Norton sets it up for Booz and Leonard, who makes the return. They're going to set up for Amethyst Trevino in the middle, and Norton's there. She's going to make the return. And there's Burleson, puts too much on it and sends it out of play. And that's 6 straight here for London. And this setup goes a little bit awry there as they're trying to get it to Trevino as she was approaching the net, but that one just a little bit in front of her there, and that one just didn't work out. Try it again here with Jimenez, and return by Cavazos, and that one out of play. Call it 8 in a row. And we're going to get a timeout here by the Lady Bulldogs. They find themselves down 7 points early here in set number 2. We'll be back. We're Real Sports Live. Keep it here.
Service is attitude. How far are we willing to go to service our community, our dealership here for you, and you? Sky's the limit.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Real Sports Live, and it's a hot start here by London in set number 2. And what a play there, McNorton getting low for the pancake. Anthony Vino right to McNorton, who keeps it alive. And this one just falls in between the sea of maroon. Graf was there. Just kind of a deer in the headlights. As that one just falls to the floor, and a point over to Banquete, and it snaps what was 8 in a row for Lady Pirates. Here's the attack from Campbell. It's played on that back row by Jackie Pena, and here's the return by Burleson. Norton sets it up, and there's Graf. Sends it flying out of play, and back-to-back points for Banquete, make it a 5-point affair here. And here's a dump off. London ready for it. Norton for Boozin Leonard, and she comes up with a kill there, sending it off the libero, Mia Perez. And the lead back to 6. It's 9-3. Michaela Stort for London on to serve. Here's the outside attack. That's Samantha Cavazos, and Ajiti goes up, gets it over, and wins out on that battle on the net. And the lead up to 7. Here's Cavazos. Norton for Boozin Leonard. And it skips ahead. And a good effort there by Pettis, but point going to go over to London, and the lead up to 8. This Banquete team rotates around the floor really good. They move really well. They're quick. They've got some athleticism, but just a lot of strikes coming their way. A lot of hits. A lot of really well hit attacks. And it's just a barrage of them. And just because it's a bit overwhelming, as we're going to see a setup and an attack here by Samantha Cavazos. Boozin Leonard going to make the return. A nice play there from Campbell. And the libero, Michaela Stort, going to make the return for London. And here's the setup for Burleson. And Burleson, nice play there, sends it across the net and picks up the point. It's 11-4. And McNorton makes a heck of a play, and the GD makes the return, and London officially wins out on that one there. And it's 12-4. Let's alert the replay. So we're going to go through that all over again, and just the far setup, and McNorton just makes a beeline for it, and Phoebe Ajiti there on the return. Just nicely done. You're this London squad, and now you lead by 8. Nice play there. Banquete gets a point back. We get a 7-point game. So the libero, Mia Pettis, on to serve. And that's Stort getting low and making the play, but she sends it over and out. And back-to-back points here for Banquete, and let's see if they could string together a couple more as they trail by 6. And this one going off the hands of Campbell and out of play, and make it 3 in a row here. It's 12-7, and we're going to get a timeout from the London sideline as the Lady Pirates want to talk about it a little bit. A little bit of momentum for Banquete. We'll be back.
I'm Sandra Valencia, principal of Por Vida Academy at Corpus Christi. Our program is individualized to fit the college or career your student is interested in. We cover all fees for testing and tuition. Our campus is small, providing a family-like atmosphere where teachers provide engaging, hands-on instruction. If you're looking for a school where your child can prepare for the future, then look no further than Por Vida Academy at Corpus Christi. Por Vida Academy at Corpus Christi. Go Panthers!
Fisherman's Place in Corpus, located at the Arcadia Shopping Center, offer real diagnostics and cleaning, sell lures, tackle, bait, and clothing. Also new and reconditioned rods and reels featuring a limited warranty. Located at 3911 Ayer Street, call 361-687-6754, Fisherman's Place.
We're the Moody Trojan Booster, and you're watching Rio Sports Live.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Coming off the timeout, it's a 5-point lead for London as Elena Leos makes the return there, and Banquete does the same. McNorton for Boozin Leonard, and she sends it rifling to Ashley De Leon, but Bettis doing a good job to keep it alive, and we continue. They're going to set it for Boozin Leonard. Tries to go finesse with the tip, but Cavazos is ready for it, and this one goes out of play, and it's going to be a Banquete point. And the lead cut down to 4. London again is led by as many as 8. McNorton for Boozin Leonard. And coming up short there is De Leon, and she comes up, makes the play, but can't keep it alive there on the front row, and it's 13-8. So on the serve for the Lady Pirates is Brooke Boozin Leonard. She sends it over. Here's the setup for Cavazos, and she goes cross court and out of play, and the lead back up to 6 for London. Match taking similar, the game taking similar shape to the first. London just started off hot and kept in control, and Paris Cruz went low for that one and tried to keep it alive and just didn't get quite enough of it. And this one going to be an ace for Banquete, and that's Samantha Cavazos, and the lead back down to 4. Back-to-back points for Lady Bulldogs. Boozin Leonard comes up big, and another kill for her. So here's Araceli Garza on the serve for the Lady Pirates. And Banquete, a little off-kilter there on that one, and the lead 16-10. This one out of play. Banquete unable to get to it, and the lead back up to 7. And back comes London as they're rolling, and Banquete wanting to talk about it a little bit. So timeout, Lady Bulldogs. 17-10, London in front. We'll be back. Keep it here. We're Real Sports Live.
en la Universidad de Texas A&M Kingsville. Somos una familia. Nosotros nos apoyamos. Trabajamos juntos. Crecemos juntos. Triunfamos juntos. Nos inspiramos los unos a los otros para convertirnos en las grandes mentes del futuro. Estamos aquí para asegurarnos que tú triunfes. Aplica hoy para empezar. Es tu momento.
We are the Ray Texas Cheerleaders, and you're watching Rio Sports Live.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everybody who is out there watching. Make sure to give this video a like and a share and let everybody know you're watching. And where you're watching at, send them our way. We're Real Sports Live, RIO Sports Live, on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And there's a graph. Runs into Davino on the front of the net. Nice play there by Sepulveda. London using its size there. Sepulveda sets it up. McNorton back to Sepulveda. And the return made here by Banquete. McNorton back for Graf. Banquete keeps it alive. McNorton going to try once again, going across court for Sepulveda, and Banquete keeps it alive once more, and the rally continues. McNorton for Garza. And McNorton sends it over, and it's 17-10 here in set number 2. We're in the midst of a rally here, and Banquete trying to get some momentum going, and that's not going to happen there as they send it out of play. And the lead back to 8. London continues to roll here. And this is going to be a service error by Araceli Garza. And the lead down to 7 in serving. This is number 4, Jackie Pena. Graf two-hands it over on the return. And this one falls just out of the reach of Buzan Leonard and Paris Cruz. And Banquete with 2 straight points cuts the lead down to 6. It's 18-12. Lady Bulldogs serve once again. Jackie Pena. Norton sets it up. Buzan Leonard from the back row. It skips. And Bettis is there. Set it up for Kirsten Koenig. Norton. Buzan Leonard going to make the return. For Kirsten Koenig, and Koenig comes up with the point there, and another Banquete run here as they cut the lead down to 5. They've trailed by 8 on a few occasions. London has just come out with all the momentum early on in this second set. But Banquete been hanging around, got the deficit down to about 4. And there's Graf on that center net, the middle blocker position, making her presence felt. Make the lead 19-13 once again. And Elena McNorton on the serve. Here's set up, and Trevino's there. McNorton sets up for Ajiti. And nobody home as that's Pettis and Cavazos both making a play for it, but nobody on the back end of that one where the ball was in position. And it's a point over to London as McNorton serves it up once again. Trevino on the return with Norton for Boozin Leonard. Here's Trevino. She rotates over and just can't get all of that one. Showed a strong effort there. Just was quick, maybe a little bit overzealous. So she tried to get up there and just couldn't time it correctly. And Pettis over and out of play, and the lead is now 9. And I believe this is the largest for London here in this match overall. As with Norton. Graf there on the net. And they set it up for Sepulveda, and Banquete ready for it. And Peña with the attempt here, and she sends it over and out of play, and the lead balloons to 10, and London continues to roll. Just Banquete's been able to string a couple of points together, and they just can't seem to get those stops. Though make runs here and there, just can't get over that hump there, and the London consistency up front has just been too much for Banquete to handle here. And McNorton sends that one into the net. So the lead is 9, 23-14, and the libero, Mia Pettis, serves it up. And this one just hangs on that top of the net. And set point coming up for London. It's 24-14. Lydian Campbell on the serve. Norton sets it up. Ajiti cross court. Hits Boozin Leonard. Gets the skip. And Cavazos keeps it alive. And here's Trevino. Strong attack, but Campbell's there. Boozin Leonard makes the return. Played by Cavazos. Set up for Jimenez. And Jimenez gets deflection, point over to Banquete. So here's Ashley De Leon on serve for the Lady Bulldogs. Boozin Leonard is there. There's McNorton for Graf. And that one gonna be Banquete's point, and here come the Lady Bulldogs once again. They still trail by 8, and you've seen this a couple of times. We'll be able to string those points together. But London just started too strong, and Banquete digs themselves an early hole in these first 2 sets, and we're going to get a timeout from the London side as they want to try to finish this set off, finish it off strong. And they call a timeout to try to quell the momentum above Banquete. It's 24-17 here in set number 2. We'll be back. Keep it here. We're World Sports Live.
We're a world-class Cadillac, Buick, and GMC dealership, and we're in your neighborhood. Come by and check us out. We're waiting for you.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the midst of set number 2. London taking set 1, 25-17, and here they are leading 24-17 in set number 2, and they've led throughout, except for a 1-0 start by Banquete. That was followed by a barrage of London points, 8 straight to be exact, and ever since then, Banquete has been on the chase. And this one popped up, and Campbell and Boozin Leonard makes the return there for London. Here's Hannah Wright on the serve. On the setup for Lopez. And the GD goes up with it, sends it to the back row where De Leon plays it. And that one just falls there for Mia Perez. And that one's a tough one to call. It looked like it was going. But as soon as London called off, it just felt like a rock. And just inside that white line. And the lead down to 6. Here's De Leon on the serve. McNorton sets it up for Booz and Leonard, and Booz and Leonard ends the set with another brilliant attack from the outside. And it's 25-18, and we'll take a look at the replay. We're a couple of minutes from the third set. Just a nice back and forth here. Just a nice setup. Booz and Leonard has played really well. Have the rest of these outside hitters, but it starts on the front row with setter Elena McNorton, and these hitters have been the beneficiaries of it as London Lady Pirates up 2-0. We're headed to set 3. The Lady Pirates look for a clean sweep, and the Lady Bulldogs going to look to force a fourth set and keep this going. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Keep it here. We're Real Sports Live.
In the game, come to Myra Sports and more. Basketball gloves and uniforms too, customized for you. Your family tradition, from generation to generation. From Pee Wee to the MLBs, you can count on us. Your hometown sporting goods store since '76. Myra Sports and more, where kids get cool stuff.
Hi, we're the Carol Cheerleaders, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Come on down to Staples Street Meat Market with the best selection of quality meats, beef ribs, Angus beef fajitas, and Staples Street brand sausage, featuring our new authentic family recipe for pony spices. Check out our weekly specials. Your one-stop shop for everything you need for your next barbecue: ice, charcoal, wood, and adult beverages. We are your local football headquarters. Look for our new location coming early 2022 at 7418 South Staples Street. We're a proud advertising partner with Real Sports Live and the Coastal Band and RGV, and supporting all our local sports and athletes. Staples Street Meat Market.
Here at Texas A&M University, Kingsville, we are a family. We support each other through thick and thin. We work together, grow together, excel together. We inspire each other to become the great minds of the future. We are here to ensure you succeed. Apply today to get started. This is your time.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, headed to set number 3. And London winning the first two sets 25-17, 25-18, and see if they can continue the hot hand they've had. Got off to an 8-1 start last time out in set number 2. And I just want to thank everybody who's looking in and watching one more time. If you're watching, make sure to give us a like, give us a share, and let everybody know that you're watching on Real Sports Live. We're live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at the moment. So we're going to get started here. And Nicolette Gonzalez is going to start with the service error, and London going to pick up the first point of this third set. And Elena McNorton, who's had herself a heck of a game, serving it up for those hitters here today on the service line for the Lady Pirates. She puts it into play. This one popped high up. And Booz and Leonard is there, and early point here for Banquete. They tie it up at 1-all. So Mia Pettis on for Lady Bulldogs. Just clean up a little bit of condensation on the gym floor, getting it all wiped away, and we're ready to go. And here's the serve for Banquete, and there's Sepulveda with the kill, set up nicely there on that front row, and Natalie Sepulveda comes up with the kill. It's 2-1. Maitland Campbell on the serve. Here's a setup for Trevino on the outside. McNorton keeps it alive, and Campbell on the return. Played on the back row. Here's a setup. And the whistle and infraction on Banquete, and the ball, the point, and the serve over to London. And this one sent out of play. London gives it right back on the service error from Campbell. This one's served up high onto the net, and a good shot there for Samantha Cavazos. He ties it up, and we're all squared at 3. Graf on the net, sends it over, and Banquete is not going to make the return, and London pulls back ahead 4-3. And the miss hit by the Lady Bulldogs. Here's set up on the far end for Mia Lopez. That one into the net, and back-to-back points here for the Lady Pirates. They lead 5-3. And London up 2-0, trying to pick up a clean sweep here. And here's Stewart. Here's a return, Cavazos. And the dump off there by Garza. Set up by Gonzalez. And that one heads to the corner net, and that one out of play. And it's going to be point over to London. That's 3 straight for the Lady Pirates. Stewart on the serve. And Ajiti with the block on that center net. Sends it back in the face of Zoe Burleson. And McNorton keeps it alive, and just nobody home there, and that one into the net, and London gives the point back. And the service error out of play. And it's a 3-point lead now. And on to the service line, it's Paris Cruz for the Lady Pirates. That's a shallow serve. Norton sets it up there for Leos. And the point over to London as they double up on Banquete, 8-4. Cruz on once again. And Banquete unable to come up with the return, and it's a 5-point lead now. 6 of the last 7 points over to London after a 3-3 tie. And what a double block there, and Busenlander comes up big. She's there with Leos. Comes up with the block and the kill. It's 10-4 now. This one skips over and set up and returned by Campbell. Here's the dump off play there by Liana Jimenez. They set it up. Busenlander goes up strong and out of play. And the lead's 10-5 as Jackie Pena comes up to the service line for Lady Bulldogs. Norton and Campbell into the net. And back-to-back points here for Banquete, and we'll see if they can do what they've done in the first 2 sets. String a couple together, and not going to happen there. As Pena sends that one into the net. Service error, going to give the point back to London as Brick Busenlander heads to the service line. Put it in play for the Lady Pirates. And this one kept alive by Cavazos, but nobody home after the initial bump. And the lead up to 6 is Busenlander puts this one in play. And it's a 7-point game after London takes that point, and Banquete trying to talk about it here. They're down big once again. We'll be right back. We're Real Sports Live. Keep it here.
Children volunteer with CASA of the Coastal Bend.
Help us break the cycle of child abuse and neglect. Attend one of 4 information sessions and learn how you can become a CASA volunteer, providing children in foster care strong voices, healing hearts, and the opportunity to thrive.
After all, these children are our future. Visit coastalbendcasa.org and discover how you can make a positive change in a child's life.
Every child has a chance. It's you.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, coming off this timeout. London on another hot streak here, and they've led for most of this match for a really good part of that opening set, and then they came out really strong, put up 8 straight points at one time in set number 2, and here they are on a hot streak and opening up a 7-point lead. And there's Leos, dumps it off, and it's sent out of play by Kendall Koenig. And a lead up to 8. And that's where the lead has hovered most of the night for London, around 8 points, 8, 9. I believe it was 10 at one point back in that second match. Good heads up play there, and McNorton, just nice rally up front all over the place. Sepulveda. Banquete with the return, and this one tipped over, and Banquete is going to get the tap off of London. And the lead is 7. Norton sets it up for Leos in the center. Coming back the other way, that's Koenig. And this one just over the top of the head of Amethyst Trevino. And the point over to London, and the lead's back to 8, 15-7. Here's Garza on the serve. And a strong attack there by Bettis. And Booz and Leonard going to make the return. And Bettis with the bump. Here's a setup by Jimenez. And Bettis is going to come up with a kill. (15-8) London. Got some subs rotating in, and it's going to be Nicolette Gonzalez on the serve for Banquete. With the officials over to the scores table to look at the lineup cards and make sure everything's in order. Looks like we're all good to go here. And here's a serve put in play by Gonzalez. And the return made here by Garza. Gonzalez sets it up for Perez. McNorton for Sepulveda. And Trevino keeps it alive for Banquete up front, and the return by Gonzalez. And there's Graf on the middle of the net, and that's not going to be returned. Graf's had a good game in the middle, and the outside hitters as well for London. I can't forget about this girl, Elena McNorton. There's the attack there. And Booz and Leonard on the return to the back row and played by Banquete. Here's the setup. And that one cross court, that's Mia Perez as she picks up the kill. And some fight here in Banquete as they make it a 7-point game. Booz and Leonard comes out to make the play. Sepulveda sends it over. Norton, back row attack from Booz and Leonard. And that's off the hands of Gonzalez and out of play. And the lead's 8. This one's going to be a point for London. There's a GD. And the point over to London. It's 19-9. Here's a serve, Lillian Campbell. Amethyst Trevino's there. She's going to get the deflection off of Araceli Garza. Make it a 9-point game. And London searching for the clean sweep here in 3 sets. And it's getting down that home stretch. We'll see if Banquete has a late run in them to try to extend the game as Booz and Leonard sends it over. And off of Mia Lopez, who tried to make a play for it but could not. And it's 20-10 and the lead reaching double digits now. Here's Michaela Stewart on the serve for the Lady Pirates. She puts it in play. This one going to bounce off the top of the net, bounce out of play. And London increases the lead to 11. And like they've done in the first 2 sets, finishing this set late and strong. And it's just been all London here. They've dominated in all 3 sets and built up big leads. And that protected them as the GD sends that one into the net. But there was Burleson and Cavazos waiting for her. And they're going to give the point over to London. And it's now 22-10, a 12-point lead as the Lady Pirates are just cruising here as that one goes into the net. And the service error going to give Banquete the point and the ball. Banquete just really athletic team, but just not enough to combat those hitters for London. Just on the outside in the center of the net, it's just been set up really well, and they're able to move around just as quickly as Banquete has, and just no answers from the Lady Bulldogs as this one goes out of play and over. Here's Cruz. And Booz and Leonard puts a little bit too much on that one. Sends it out of play. Point Banquete. Over to the service line for Banquete. It's Jackie Pena. Norton sets it up. The return by Campbell. And Banquete's Cavazos makes the return. This one's set up for Leos, and Cavazos is there. And she's there again as McNorton gets blocked by Cavazos. And the lead's down to 10. This one popped up, sent over by Stewart. Here's a setup by Jimenez for Cavazos, and Cavazos goes up in the middle of the net and picks up the kill. And Banquete not going quietly as they're going to put together a run, and it's got to be a big one here as Lady Pirates 2 away from closing this out in straight sets. And this one going to go out of play as service error by Pena makes it a 10-point game, and match point coming up, and Brooke Booz and Leonard onto the service line for Lady Pirates, and she puts this one into play, and she's going to pick up the ace to close out the night. And that'll do it here. 25-14 in set 3, so 25-17, 25-18, 25-14. The London Lady Pirates win this one in straight sets. And there's several candidates for player of the game, but we're going to go with the setter, Elena McNorton, really set things up and got her hitters going, just got them in momentum. So that's going to do it here, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you guys for watching. Make sure to go and rewatch this. Give us a like, give us a share. We're Real Sports Live, RIO Sports Live. Thank you guys for watching.